At that time, Jesus said to his disciples, "As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Remain in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you this, so that my own joy may be in you and your joy may be complete. This is my commandment: love one another as I have loved you. A man can have no greater love than to lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command you. I shall not call you servants anymore, because a servant does not know his master's business. I call you friends, because I have made you known everything I have learned from my Father. You did not choose me, no, I chose you, and I commissioned you to go out and to bear fruit, fruit that will last. And then the Father will give you anything you ask him in my name. What I command you is to love one another." This is the gospel of the Lord. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Remain in my love. At the heart of John chapter 15, a chapter which begins with the parable of the vine, where Jesus describes himself as the true vine and we, his branches. At the heart of this chapter, there is a discourse about love. But love not in a trivial or sentimental way, actual divine love. The gospel translation we have before us perhaps doesn't quite make justice to the original text. And perhaps we could pick out what Jesus really means. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Remain in my love. We could translate the last sentence as abide, dwell, in the love that is mine. There is an emphasis there of stability, of making our home in that love, which is the love of Christ himself, the love which is divine and flows from the Father to the Son, and it's open to us as well. Abide in that love which is mine. The words recalls what Jesus said earlier in John 15:4. Make your home with me in me as I make my home in you. There is this idea of, as I said, stability and of residing in Jesus' love. But how do we do that? Well, Jesus says, if you obey my commandments. And what are his commandments? To love one another, just as he loves us. So you can see that Jesus prepares for us, lays out for us, a sort of virtuous circle in which we are called to love others so that we can abide in his love. And that love in turns, as St. Paul would say, urges us to love others again. But how do we do that? How do we love in a way that is not trivial, that is not just pure sentiments, but in a way that is effective and bears fruit? Jesus is the one who gives us that example. He is the one who lays down his life for us. And he says, no one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. So he is the one to give us an example. But how can we follow that example? No one can replicate his sacrifice on the cross. while perhaps laying down our lives for others, can take other forms. We don't have to die for them, but we can consciously, intentionally, every day work for the good, the well-being of others. Spend our lives in doing good, in extending that love, that divine love which we enjoy, to others. Perhaps as we reflect on this passage of the Gospel, where we see an invitation and an instruction from Jesus to abide in his love, we should ask ourselves, in the presence of God, how do I abide in God's love? How is my Christian life an extension of that love to others? And how do I rejoice in that love? As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Remain in my love.